Well, it's been another crazy week of transfer news and rumours regarding Leeds United, and let's get into it. Let's wrap it up. It's a Sunday. Let's talk. Let's get into this. All right, guys, what's going on? My name is Ollie Ward. Welcome back to the Ollie Ward channel. Hope you've all had a great week, a great weekend, a great Sunday, and you're ready for the latest Leeds United transfer news and rumours. Before we do get into it, you guys know what to do already. Go down there and smash 300 likes. The last few videos I've hit like 289, 298. Let's smash 300 this time. Also, subscribe if you're new. Look, we're 11 subscribers of 20,100. So if you're not subscribed and you're watching this, stick around, subscribe, and get your comments in today. I want to know what made you fall in love with Leeds United. What was that first game you watched? I don't care how many years ago it was. When did you fall in love with Leeds United? What was that moment? What was that goal? What was that game? Let me know in the comments down below. Without further ado, let's get into the Leeds United transfer news. And we're starting with signings. Of course we are. We're talking about Callum Wilson today, the Newcastle striker. According to reports, Leeds United are leading the race to sign Callum Wilson this summer. Newcastle have an option to extend the 33-year-old's contract, but could let him leave for free this summer with regular football needed. He has 88 goals in the Premier League with over 230 appearances. You know, very experienced in the Premier League. I really like this signing. I really, really do. I think it's sort of low risk. Yes, he will be on a high wage. He wants regular football. The only thing that does worry me about Callum Wilson is obviously the age. 33 is getting on a bit. And also his fitness. His fitness has been terrible. He would arguably be one of the best strikers in the league, you know, over the last sort of 5-10 years, if he just stayed fit. When he's fit, he bags goals. And that's what I like about Callum Wilson. But it's not a massive risk if we sign him on a free. I don't see the real sort of, I mean, I guess the wages, and you have got, you know, he's going to be on that medical bed the whole time at Ellen Road. But I think if he's fit and firing, he's a perfect addition for this Leeds United side. I don't know about you guys, but I really like this. Yes, the age, yes, the fitness. But what do you guys think? Yes, we can maybe do better. I don't know if he would be our number one striker signing, but I think if you need, you know, someone who can put the ball in the back of the net, I think he does your sort of Bamford role, you know, that comes on. I think you get rid of Bamford and then you bring in someone like a Callum Wilson. That's what I'd personally do. Next up, we're talking Willem Geubbles. I believe I've spoke about him before, and I'm not 100% sure that's how you say his name. But Leeds are again being linked with Gibbles, who could be available for just under 5 million this summer. I think it's around 4.6 million, with reports of a release clause in his current contract at St. Gallen, which is out in Switzerland, or St. Gallen. The 23-year-old has 14 goals in 34 games this season. I personally think he's a good player. That's about it. I don't know if he's good enough to lead the line in the Premier League. I think 14 in 34 is not bad. You know, it's a goal. I'm not going to try and do the maths, but either way, it's a decent record. You know, I just don't know. Again, it's kind of like a low risk, may possibly high reward again, under 5 million this summer. It wouldn't be the end of the world if he came and didn't score, obviously, 14 goals. But I personally like the Callum Wilson one a bit more. Maybe it's a bit biased because I know Callum Wilson. I've watched him and I only watch really Premier League and sort of the big leagues. I don't watch the Swiss League. He might be an absolute gem. What do you guys think in the comments down below? And if you do watch the Swiss League, let me know in the comments down below. Is this bloke good? Next up, we're talking about confirmed exits for Leeds United. The retained list came out yesterday for Leeds United. Of course, Josuha Guilovogui has left the club. I think we all knew that was going to happen. There was no real, there's nothing unexpected with this. Sam Byram and Firpo are in discussion with contracts. Rothwell and Solomon are going back. I don't see Leeds United going in for Joe Rothwell again, unfortunately. I think he's a cracking player. I just don't believe Leeds will do that again. Obviously, Guilovogi's gone. He's had a nice speech. He's put out so many nice Instagrams. The players have just said how much they love him. He wasn't the best player. Let's be serious. He wasn't the best player when he played against like Harrogate and he came on for the last sort of 5 minutes in games. But he's done a lot behind the scenes that we don't know about. He was the absolute dad of the group, and he's an absolute legend in my eyes. I really like Guilovogui. Got so much respect for him, and hopefully, I mean, it's not up to me, but he's welcome back at Ellen Road anytime. Sam Byram, for me, I think it's over. I mean, I love Sam Byram. I really do. He's a homegrown boy. I do like him, but I just think we need to do a bit better now than Sam Byram, unfortunately. I won't be furious if he got, another year contract. I wouldn't. But I just don't think we need him. We don't need the homegrown players. We have enough. And personally, for me, if we're talking Junior Firpo, this is an unpopular opinion, but I think he goes to Betis. I do think he leaves Leeds United. That's where I stand with Junior Firpo. I would like to see him here again, but I do believe Junior Firpo is going to leave. And that's just, I've got a hunch with that. It might not be true. He might have contract discussions and be like, yeah, but I just believe that Firpo is going to go to Betis. I don't know anything, but that's kind of what I'm thinking. What do you guys think? What would you guys do? Would you give Byram and Firpo a contract? Just Firpo, just Byram? Let me know in the comments down below. Next up, we're talking Gabriel Sara, who is a Galatasaray winger. He used to play for Norwich under Daniel Farke. Leeds are monitoring him again. We liked him last summer until he did go to Galatasaray. And I put in my notes here, after everything that's happened this week, the clubs don't need to be doing negotiations. We don't need to be funding them. I think some things should just stay out of, some things are bigger than football. And I think negotiating a good price, and he'll never get over with the fans. It's just it's not his fault. I'm sure Sara is a good player. I'm sure. I just don't think we need that. I don't think he needs that. I just think we stay away from this transfer. I don't know about you guys. I think he's a cracking player. And when he's back in Norwich, I'd have took him in a heartbeat. But I just think the whole Leeds and Galatasaray thing, especially after this week and Ampadu and his ex-wife and things like that, I just think you stay away from this absolutely completely. Next up, we're talking Manor Solomon. And a quote from Tottenham News today, which is not the most reliable of sources. They say he'll definitely leave Spurs. Sorry about that. In the summer, Marseille is still an option, but Leeds United and Spurs have had no discussions as of yet if Solomon is going to return to Leeds United in the Premier League. Again, with Solomon, I think he deserves to come back. I think if anything under sort of 15 million, I think you do sign Solomon, but I wouldn't be going like 20, 25 million for him. I don't know. A lot of people disagree with me of that, but I just think sort of 15 million is my cutoff with Solomon. But I do think there's better players out there. But again, we'll have to see. I mean, I don't want to sort of, because he's done a lot for Leeds United. He's one of the reasons we are back in the Premier League, and I think he does deserve to come back. And I just think not anything more than 15 million for me is just too much for Solomon. I don't know if that's an unpopular opinion, but yeah, no discussions as of yet between Leeds and Spurs, and obviously Marseille is still an option, and some reports are suggesting that Solomon prefers the idea of Marseille than he does Leeds United, but how can you? How can you after you scored that goal? Next up, we're talking Nico Elvedi. There was very strong interest with Elvedi back in January, back last summer as well, and he's now requested to leave. I'm sorry about this. Still ill. He's now requested to leave Borussia Mönchengladbach. He wants to move to the Premier League. He wanted to move to the Premier League last summer. He's played under Daniel Farke before. And again, I can see this being one of our first signings. I really can. I think he's requested to leave now. His sin Leeds have gone up. He's played under Daniel Farke before. There was big interest that he wanted to be in England. Farke likes him. I just can see this one working for around £10 million. I can see it just happening, being one of our first signings. But again, what do I know? I'm just a YouTuber. And last but not least, we're talking Matteo Joseph. And again, Real Betis are going for that double swoop. They also want Matteo Joseph, and they're really pushing for the signature of Joseph. But apparently, it's not being made easy by Leeds United, and there's ongoing discussions happening. But again, these are just all articles, rumours. It's the rumour mill. That's what this channel is about. I know some people don't like it, but I'm not forcing you to watch. I like doing the rumours because I'm just reading what you guys see online, or you might have missed something online. I'm just giving my sort of point of view. Not everything that I talk about becomes true. I mean, 90% of it doesn't, but that's just the point. It's rumours. It's a bit of fun. But Matteo Joseph, what would you guys do with him? Would you let him leave, or do you think he deserves a spot in the Premier League? Do you think we need to send him out on loan? What would you guys do with Matteo Joseph? Just to run through the transfer news one more time. Callum Wilson, I like that. Callum Wilson to Leeds United. Apparently, Leeds are leading the race. Willem Geubbles linked with Leeds United. The retain list. Guilovogui gone. What would you do with Byram and Firpo? Sara to Leeds. I don't go near it. Solomon, Leeds or Marseille. And Elvedi, I could see it being our first signing. And Matteo Joseph, would you keep him or would you let him leave? Guys, I've been Ollie Ward, and I'll catch you in the next video. Be sure to smash that like button, subscribe if you're new, get all your comments in, and I'll catch you next time. Cheery. Do it back. Oh.